Check, check. 1, 2. So you can hear me. So I started redoing my old business that I used to do way back, and if Jake sees this, then he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. but um, I I kind of started down this road because one, I wanted to do a few different things with it. I guess one, because I just really wanted to get back into imports, especially being like the 90s cars and things like that. Just because if it wasn't for those, or growing up then and working on those cars and stuff, me and myself and everything about my life would be absolutely completely different. Um, and with that being said, there's a lot of things that can kind of go along with that, and one of them is actually um, using what I'm doing to be able to create a business, and not just I guess not just business, but also income from what I'm doing, using it to generate content and things like that. So um, I kind of wanted to go over some of it and like document the process, which I'm not like, YouTube savvy, and I don't make like crazy videos, but I just try to give out good information about what I do and what I'm able to do or whatever. And one of the things I wanted to go over was, for people out there that are always looking to do something, or they want to do something aside from just working at their job, if they want to make more money, things like that, or just make money doing something that they enjoy. And I know a lot of times people hear that and they're like, oh well, just do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. Which I find is kind of dumb that people say that, because a lot of people hear that but they have no idea like how to make money with doing something like that. And what I came up with was, um, I think really what it boils down to is you can really make money doing anything as long as you continue to do it. And that's kind of always been one of my things, is that I do a lot of different things, and I don't really like particularly like just super hyper focus on one thing. I kind of like let a few different things make some money or some income, and I never like hyper focus on just one thing, I guess. But I don't know if that's good or bad. A lot of people say, make sure and focus on one thing, and then, if that thing's doing good, move to the next. I don't really always feel like that's the best thing for everybody, especially someone like me that's got ADD and likes to do different things. So that's just how it is. But the thing I wanted to document is that since I bought the Integra, I found another Integra that was just a parts car. And I knew from just getting back in the groups and seeing like what people are talking about, seeing what people are doing, seeing what people are selling, I knew that if I was able to get into the right market, get the following, be able to communicate with people, I knew that there would be money in that venture. And there's always going to be money in that venture, especially in the 90s cars now, because 90s they're not super old. I mean, they're going to be 20 years old here pretty soon. But the thing about it is that it's still a very like prevalent market. People still drive 90s cars, whether they're souped up imports or just stock 90s cars. You know what I mean? So a lot of the OEM manufacturers are not making parts for them anymore. There's just a lot of different things. Sorry. There's just a lot of different things that are going to start adding up to that market becoming more of a demand for outside sellers, I guess, like someone like me that would buy parts and then sell them, because eventually that's the only way that people are going to be able to get parts, aside from some of the minor, parts and stuff. But so that's kind of why I wanted to talk about, is that I found that parts car, and then I just went there and I took a bunch of stuff. Like, I took everything I could take that was within reason that he would let me basically have for as cheap as possible. And I'm talking like little clips, brackets, interior pieces, just little fasteners, all kinds of like sensors. There's a ton of stuff on cars that if you take it apart and you sell it individually, you're going to make a ton more money doing that versus trying to sell the whole car or sell the engine with the car, because nobody wants to buy the car, take the engine out, and then keep it, even though it would be, more, it would be a better deal, because you would get a better deal on it. For instance, if I buy this GSR that I'm looking at, I can buy the whole car for like $2,000, and it's got a running engine in it, and running engines on eBay are going for like $5,500 right now. So I wouldn't sell it for that. Basically, I want to be able to buy as much as I can and not undercut myself, but I also don't want to follow the typical norms and try to make as most money as possible at $5,500 when I could, sell it for $3,500, and pick up some more people that are able to say, hey man, like, this guy, he did me right, he got me a good engine, he followed through. That word of mouth of people being able to find those parts and do things like that add up really fast. And that's how it really happened with my last business or side hustle or whatever you want to call it, when I was selling LSX parts for Chevys. Jake and I, we used to do that, and it is a little more time consuming, but the thing is, like, working on the cars and working with the parts and cleaning them and doing things like that, and yeah, it takes time to do that, and yeah, but really, it's free. It's free to you. And I know that, like, you don't get time back. Time is money, and you have to look at it like that. But once it's all built up and you have a supply of parts and you have all of them listed, and you're able to just start making more contacts and get things moving, and then you're able to start turning that around, where you're having a steady supply, and then people are coming to you and asking you for parts, then it kind of really starts to roll. But that's kind of like what's happening right now, is that I've been posting a lot, in the groups, making connections, making friends. I've had a lot of people add me. I've created a group, I've created a page, and a lot of people don't want to go through this and do those sort of steps to be able to see the money on the back end. And like I was saying, so about the parts, and like, I got a good deal on all the parts because I bought them a bunch of small things at once, versus like things here and there and there and there. So I've made like 3 trips, and I think I've spent like $250 altogether on all the parts that I've got, and I have things listed for $250 for just one part. So eventually it will sell. It just sits there. But right now I did sell the gauge cluster today. The guy offered me $130 for the gauge cluster, which is a good deal. Most of them are going online for like $150 to like $175 on the high end, and this is just for a stock GSR gauge cluster for a 98 through 2001. So I sold that to him. I put it on eBay because I don't have PayPal, and I'm never going to deal with PayPal again. I don't care what all these other car parts sellers, gurus think. I will never deal with PayPal, and I will never have it. So if someone doesn't want to buy from me because of that, I don't care. I really don't. So I told him that if he wanted to buy it, I would put it on eBay, but I'm going to mark it up because eBay does charge seller fees, obviously. So I put it on there or he offered me $125. I put it on eBay for $130 with free shipping because I told him I would include it. So all in all together, I made like $111 off of the gauge cluster just itself, that I bought with a bunch of parts that I paid I think $125 for all the parts, and one of those parts included was the gauge cluster. So basically, I've already broke even on almost all the parts that I bought in that whole group, from just selling one thing. So um, just keep in mind that there's so many things out there that you can do to make money, and that's kind of what just this whole process was uh, getting down to, because I really enjoy working on the car. I really love rebuilding it. I love like reconnecting with my old friends. I love the car community of what it used to be in the 90s, not so much now, which I'm not really going out and trying to find new people in the communities. I'm trying to connect with the older people, um, like in their 30s, and things like that are kind of getting back into this. And that's also something I did want to say, that I noticed that people more my age of mid 30s are getting back into the imports because of the nostalgia that they had when they were in the 90s, and everybody really enjoyed that. And I've been contacted by many friends in my past, that I knew from the car community, that have said that they got back into them, and they've sent me pictures, and we talked about the old times, and it's just super cool to see that coming back around. And now, with me being the type of person that I am, I want to use that knowledge and make money with it, because it's going to be there for quite some time. It's not going to just instantly go away. All the Integras are not going to just disappear, but they are getting harder to find, obviously, or the price wouldn't be increasing on them. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's why I kind of wanted to bring this up, is that I wanted to document that process of making money with something that you do enjoy. And I've made like videos like this kind of before. I made money when I was bodybuilding, made money in cycling, like coaching, things like that. But honestly, like, this is something that I really, really enjoy, that I can easily make content around. You can take pictures of cars every single day, and post content. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, and I hope that I can connect with some more people. And obviously, if people are getting back into the Integras, I'm only specializing in 94 through 01 Acura Integras, whatever it be, RS, GS, LS, GSR, all those models, and then specifically all B series engine parts. So, even if it's a B16, if it's not out of Integra, whatever, all B series parts. I will be selling used parts, as far as like from the car, used parts from the engine, complete parts, packages, swaps, things like that. I do actually have a date tomorrow to go down to a like, it's not storage, it's kind of like half storage with a little showroom, things like that. But it's something that I can fit like 2.5 cars inside the bay. And my main thing is, like, if I want to be serious about getting the parts, like, I don't want to leave the car at the house all the time, because obviously it's like parked in the back on our driveway slip, and just leaving it out there looking stock and where people can see it. Like, I do like it because it's cool to look at, but I also don't like it because it is a running, driving, all stock original GSR, and they're not exactly the hardest cars to steal. So I don't want that to come up. But I do want to get a shop, because I do want to be able to take cars in there, take cars apart, put all the parts in there, have a little showroom, and I do want to have new and used parts in the little showroom up front. It is not somewhere where people can see it from the street. It is in a closed kind of like industrial type park. So you would have to get gate access to come in there, obviously, and hang out at the shop or whatever. But it would still be well worth it to have that, because people can come up from anywhere and come pick things up and see it, and just be more professional about it. So that's just kind of where I'm at, where I'm what I'm planning on doing. So if anybody has any questions about that, or if you're buying Integra and you're looking for parts, let me know. Or if you're looking for a whole Integra, I have many on the hook of people that are selling them. So Yeah, just reach out to me, and happy to help, and we'll connect with you guys later.